Welcome back to another episode of Find the Line, presented by Against the Grain Design and Print, where we dive into real stories with real racers, the successes, the hardships, and everything in between, with your co-hosts Logan Cipala and Joe Falde. Produced by Luke Cipala, it all starts right here, right now, on Find the Line.
Yeah, and we can do anything. Mama said it's true, and I put that on everything. Mama told me one day I'ma grow up big and I'ma be a king. And my papa told me it's okay to sit where shit hurts. Don't forget your dreams, cause they'll get you through this so-called life they call living, but I call it strange. And I bet I'll do it, cause I'm on my way and strong enough that I can.
Woo! Oh, welcome back to Find the Line, where KTMs can have cable clutches, and we're okay with it. This week, what a treat, man. Our guest this week definitely inspired a young Luke Cipala, Sip Snaps, in film, career, and so much more. This week, it's full. We're going to be talking film, riding, racing, family, business, and unfortunately, injury. All of this are on the table this week. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the fastest dads to ever come out of Wisconsin, the man, the myth, the legend, Luke Parmeter. How's it going, Luke?
Oh, doing pretty good. How you guys doing?
Well, we're doing better than you because we got both functioning hips right now. What's the status on the hip?
Well, yeah, the hip itself has actually been pretty good, but yeah, so about 8-9 weeks ago, I dislocated and fractured the hip socket on a pretty bad mountain bike crash. And so I'd have surgery, went through all that. That was like my first ever big injury. But we can get into that more, if you want to, but I'm doing better. I'm starting to walk on my own without a walker or crutches.
Wow.
And, it's just been a wild ride the last few weeks here. And
we've been sending thoughts. You have so many friends and fans, and we've been pushing you along. And injury it's a lonely place, And Logan was saying, dude, let's reach out to Luke and see if we can get him on. This is probably the only time he doesn't have 9 irons in the fire. Let's get him on and let him know that we love him and we're hoping the best for him. So thank you for coming on with us tonight. And for our fans that don't know, if your head's been under a rock for 30 years, we kind of want to bring up to speed on who this man is and how we met him. Luke had the unfortunate part of being part of a family that likes to climb motorcycles uphill, correct?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. No, just grew up. My mom, my dad, aunts, uncles, cousins, sister. It was normal for us. So yeah, I grew up climbing in Wisconsin and Minnesota. So that's where it all started.
What a great way to start. I mean, you're from the Wisconsin Rapids area, and I love that every part of your family has been involved in bikes, and that we all have that same sickness, right? And we're all kind of in varying ages here in life, but we've all been through the same ringer when it comes to Hillclimb. What my favorite part of Luke Parmeter's riding history and life is I got to see a person at a young age have a love for bikes, but you weren't born with the natural talent. And I'm not trying to say anything, but my favorite part of your riding career is I watched a person with drive and want to systematically design himself to be a better racer. Do you think that is accurately portrayed in your riding career?
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. And really, like, that's how it was. I raced as a kid and I, did pretty well, but just never won a national championship. And it just always ate at me. And then when I came back racing, when I was 18, 19, it was like I had one goal, and that was to just win an amateur national championship. And man, it really was harder than I thought it was going to be. And I just had to find a way to get better and train more than guys on screen here, how can I get better than these guys? It's not an easy task. And I just found a way. And, obviously my bikes were always fast, and, my dad's a motorhead, so that wasn't the problem. It was just, I just had to get better. And, it was just, and I enjoyed that process, getting better and studying film and just every day working towards becoming a champion and finally paid off. Yeah. And we can talk about all that too. But yeah, it was cool to finally accomplish all that and get it done.
So no, I think like I remember when I was really young, you guys were racing and then you got out of it for a little while, like you said, and got back into it. So when did you start and stop and then start back up again?
So I started when I was 5, and then I think I did it until about, I was probably 12 or so. And then like high school, like middle school, high school sports kind of took over, and I just got really into that. But then it was after I got done playing basketball my senior year, we were like looking at photos at one of our holidays, and we were looking at a bunch of photos of old dirt bike pictures, and it was like, man, like I still had never won, a national championship. And I kind of casually just said like, hey, we should start racing again. And I think my dad was all in, and just like, he perked up like, huh? Like, yeah, let's do it. So
Jay had been
that was
waiting
cool.
years, huh?
Yeah. He was like, enough with this basketball stuff, like football. Like, let's get into some real sports again. No, but yeah, it was like, so that was, I think I was, right after my senior year of high school, going into college, started riding again. And I think so like 2007, 2008 is when we started back up again. And, that was, then I was on big bikes. I went from like, basically, I did 1 year on a 125, but it didn't go well. I wasn't too big of a kid. So just jumping up to like a 252 stroke and a 450, it was a wake up call for sure.
Yeah.
So
it's hard to jump into, especially back then, like the 250 and 450 classes, they were stacked at those years when you jump back in. So yeah, that's a brutal homecoming.
Yeah. Just being so far off the fast time in the class. It's like, how are we going to get a second faster on this, 4-second hill or whatever it is? So yeah, definitely, it took a few years of getting my teeth kicked in. But then when I was at college, about an hour away in New Richmond, Wisconsin, they had built this brand new indoor motocross facility. It was like heaven sent, and so I just was like, I need to start riding there in the winter. And I was super intimidated because it was like an arena cross track almost, and I don't know, I was just like kind of sketched out. I actually didn't even go there the first year they were open because I was like, I don't know if I want to get into that environment, but just kind of manned up and started riding there. And it's no big deal really. But yeah, I just started riding there, putting in a ton of laps every week, while I'm at college, and really was just getting those reps in. And, like you guys would show up too. And, it was awesome because like you'd see all the other people in the area, and ended up meeting a lot of cool people and just networking with people, just being there. It was like my second home while I was in college. And while I was there, I was also filming and getting into videography. And that's really where I kind of got my name out there too in like the video world, because this is like 2009, YouTube just started, but there's no Instagram, unless you have like a website, no one's really putting videos out there.
Right.
And so I kind of had this special knowledge or like I was going to school to build websites. So I, started LP motocross. I'd bring my cameras to the races and just slowly got my name out there. And I look back, man, it was like the amount of hours I put in making these videos and filming and traveling and riding. I cannot believe how many hours I put into it, but it was like, there wasn't enough time in the day to do it because I was just so passionate about it. Right. And, that's, I think I just found what I love to do. And it was just like making videos with like dirt bikes and at other action sports too. But, it was just so cool to like, just be solely focused on that and getting faster and making videos. So it's like, in college in the background too, but
you were neck deep.
Like, dang. Yeah. But it was like, I just remember staying up so late, like every night, and it's just like working on my website. There was always something to do, and I just on my passion. So that's really where I think I excelled and just improved my racecraft, and then the video, the creative side too, and just being at college too, and going to school it was multimedia design, but it was like art and drawing and 3D and a little bit of videography and web design. So it was just like the perfect storm came together. And those years were awesome. So definitely look back at that era as just like all time, you know?
My favorite part of that era was watching you get better, you know,
Mhm.
and at riding. And it's always fun, like district races, local races. What we have that is the best is the king of the hill at the end of the day. The top 10 fastest people of the day get to ride. And they announce the names over the PA. And, you know, you're used to hearing Todd Cipala, Logan Cipala, Luke Cipala, right? And all of a sudden, I start hearing your name, Luke Parmeter. And I'm like, whoa, hey, a good day for Luke. All of a sudden, a regular, all of a sudden doing really good. And it was so damn fun. And then talking with Logan and Luke, and they're like, man, Luke is grinding and the sandbox all winter. And we're like, we've already known like Ricky Carmichael and these people in Supercross, how they got better, right? And it was like on a very scaled down version. I was watching you get better, improve, get better. And it was so damn fun just to watch somebody just continually improve, right? And not by, luck. It was by work. And what better way is there to watch somebody win than by just outworking everybody? I mean, it's like the best. And then fast forward to Devil's Staircase. I mean, everything, all the gears cogged together that weekend, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, to back up a little bit, it was like, I think it was, so like started racing back in like 2000, I think it was 7, 8, 9, and then 10, I finally won at Red Wing. And like I won, I think 3 classes, and I got in the King of the Hill on my 250, and it was just like everything clicked. And it was like, okay, like I finally like believed it, because I knew like my skills were there, but it was just like I had to like believe in myself, and everything clicked that day. And from like that point forward, it was like, okay, I put in more work than everybody. I should be winning today. And like, that was the mentality. And like, there's so many fast guys in the Midwest, and like, you get on the list, and it was like, to finally like, they kicked my butt so much, but to finally start winning, it just was awesome. But yeah, finally at Devil's Staircase 2011, just one of those magical weekends. And yeah, just, the 250 hooked up, the 750 class, and then the 4-stroke class on my big KTMs were just dialed in. And man, I just couldn't have gone any better, really. I mean, I guess I could have went a little better. 450, I got third, but like almost a perfect weekend. And
terrible.
Yeah. So it was awesome, man. Like, yeah, just couldn't believe it. Like, so thankful for like my family for being there and just supporting me, and my stepbrothers too were racing, and they end up winning 125 class and stuff, and just such a cool feeling. And but yeah, and that's like, when I say like, hey, I was so stoked to win and all this stuff, it's not because I want to like brag about it. It's like, for anything you do in life, you have to put in the work, and you have to outwork the other guy. Otherwise, you're not going to get ahead. And I just want people, I just want to drill that in people's head. I want to, like, I tell my son that every day, and it's like, why aren't you playing basketball right now? Like, there's some other kid that's playing right now. And like, so it's like, took me 22 years to realize that, or whatever it was.
But I mean, I'm old as dust. I'm old as dust, Luke. And it's like, when you were at that age, you're in college, you're so impressionable, right? Like that's at college age. That's when everybody decides what path they're going to go down. Right. And here you are in this impressionable age, and you've been grinding and working so hard. And in your subconscious, you understand now 100% that if you put the work in, you'll get the results you want, right? I mean, just on a basic, like a foundation of life, like you can't lose once you have that brick installed, right? Like you understand what it takes. You might not always win, but you're going to know every single time what it's going to take to win. And that's what, like, as an old guy, when I see like, not like I'm a successful or I've won, but like, I just, you can overcome things by working hard. And I just love seeing it work. I love seeing it work out, especially for people that do it. And I just think it's so badass. And I got to be there and witness yours, your first, I just, the pride on your face, all your family. It was epic. It was so cool.
Yeah, no, thank you. I mean, that really sums it up. And it's just simple, right? Just outwork the other guy and set yourself up the best you can, and good things are going to happen. But, it's easy to come up with excuses, but yeah, at the end of the day, like, you just got to be disciplined and go out there and get what you want, and having goals, like even for me too, like I've come to realize like I'm so goal driven. I didn't realize that growing up, but I mean, I always need to have a goal and like, okay, well, why am I working out? Because I have a race at the end of summer. It's just like, so that's just how I'm kind of wired. And, as you get older, you realize things like that, but yeah, just keep it simple, right? Work hard. Good things are probably going to happen. So,
right. We're all,
if anybody has any questions, if we back up just a little bit here, if Luke's got this mentality driving into his kid, one of the first conversations that I had with this kid when he was old enough to go was where I was at Rapids racing, and Jay brought him down for the weekend, and he had football that morning. I was like, "Oh, how'd the football game go?" "Yeah, wasn't that good. I only got 3 touchdowns." And he was just he's so hard on himself already. He's just not impressed with his own performance. And I've seen all the highlight reels, so I know he's pretty good.
Oh, that's
awesome. He's a little beast when he wants to, and he's almost too competitive, and you gotta almost rein that in. But at the same time, you gotta play to their strong suits, and so he's an old soul, and he's always been like that. So he's really into like the stick and ball sports, and so we're really deep into that in the summers, going to baseball tournaments, and every season we're playing some kind of sport, and so that's been really fun too. So hopefully we can drill that into his head though, for sure.
That's awesome.
Just to go back a little bit too, when we were talking about the sandbox, like I remember I wasn't going up there all that much, but I don't remember in those years when I was going there in the winter, if there was ever a time that I was there that you weren't, whether it was a Friday night or a Saturday race or a midweek nights, like you were there all the time. If I remember right, I wanted to talk about like the deal, like you made some sort of deal with the owner to do media for him in exchange for riding, right? And like you're just talking about like building your brand and networking and stuff, and it was pretty cool from what I remember.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So I was like, okay, how can I ride here and not, because it was expensive to ride there, and then like I didn't have a garage or anything, so I would have had to keep my bike there. So it's like I want to ride there all the time, keep my bike there. How can I make this all work? And it was like, well, I need content for my website too. So I kind of pitched them. I was like, hey, how about I just go to like all your races? I'll promote the Sandbox Arena. And, if you need videos done, if you got famous riders coming through, I'll be there. And like, that's really what it was. It was just like, they never paid me a dime, but I did all these videos for them. But at the same time, like it was growing my kind of brand too. So I just said, I'll make videos for you guys. Just let me keep my bike here. Let me ride whenever I want, and we can have a good relationship here. And it really worked out. So glad I threw that out there for them. So, and they were cool about it too, because I think they understood like with YouTube and just social media coming on board. I think they were like, we want to promote this as best we can. So I was more than happy to do it. So that's where it all started, really.
And that's how we know you're an OG, because you still call it the Sandbox.
Heck yeah.
Amsoil Sandbox Arena. That's how I know it as. So.
Yeah. I don't know what the Cedar Lake Arena is.
Yeah, never heard of it before.
Unfortunately. They probably don't like hearing that. But But it was cool. Like I remember always looking forward to the track change edits that you do with like the Ream brothers and stuff. And I think like you did a big edit with Travis Pastrana because he went there, didn't he too? At one point.
Yeah, he showed up there, and it was right before the Minneapolis Supercross, so it kind of tied in with that. But I was literally there with my Canon HB30 or Tate, camera, and I was up in the bleachers, and he ended up doing a backflip, like a super small backflip, like off like a berm, and it was insane. And I got it on video. I put it on YouTube right away. In Racer X, I sent it to Racer X, and they put it on their website. Actually, no, they linked it on my website. Nice. And so my website just blew up like the next day. And I remember I had like Google ads on my site and made like, 2 cents a month. But like that day it made like $50. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. And it was thanks to Travis Pastrana there. And I got his autograph and stuff, just being a fanboy. But that just little things like that that just, okay, now I kind of get my name with Racer X and they've heard of me or whatever. So just, you got to be there to, to get your name out there. And I remember skipping class that day just to go see Travis Pastrana, but it was totally worth it,
So cool.
So yeah.
Sometimes it's worth it, right?
Remember, like, even when I was racing too, and I was racing for a couple of years, I think when you were filming it too, I was racing most or all of the series there, and like looking forward to the indoor race recaps was always fun too. And like with the Getter brothers doing the freestyle stuff and Hoyer, and it was like they were a pretty big deal, and the races were always packed there, especially during those few years. It was fun.
Yeah, it was like, they had freestyle shows going on in between, and just knowing like everyone there, like it was like, why wouldn't you be there, So but I would make like these edits after each race. I'd put like a recap together and throw it with music, and trying to make original ones every weekend was tough, but just kind of forces you to get creative. And like, again, like just, I think that's really helped my videography, because you're in the same environment. Well, how do we make it different this week? And how do we make it, try something new and try a different filming technique or song or just whatever. I think that really set me up good for like the next chapter, when I got to work with Supercross. So it's crazy how it all works out,
Right.
Yeah.
It had to just been hard for you to sleep during that time of your life, because you just, you're inventing LP motocross, you're developing your talents as an artist, but then also probably laser focused on riding better, right? Because it's like when you're trying to get faster, that's all you think about, right? So it's like, it must have been hard to sleep. I mean, damn, your brain couldn't even turn off.
And then like just going to school too and trying to get good grades there, and but it was all just like, that singular focus of just like dirt bikes, getting faster, being creative, and I loved it, man. Like, just like I said, there was not enough hours in the day, and I'm glad I did all that then, because I can't imagine putting in that time like now that I'm a little older. But and like you have that kind of freedom when you're younger to have that flexibility, and you don't have kids at home. You can make like those mistakes, and there's not dire consequences. And so it's like, that's what's so cool, like finding your passion when you're that young is, the stakes are low. Like you still live at home at the end of the day, and you can get away with stuff. And so it's like, if you can get those mistakes out of your way quicker, that's the way to do it for sure.
What inspired you to start bringing, like, because I mean, obviously from what I can remember, it all started with doing King of the Hill or District 23 recap videos, or just the King of the Hills that you'd post on the website. Like, what inspired you to bust the camera out at these races and start filming those King of the Hills or all of the runs or whatever?
Well, I mean, I think when I was like 7th, 8th grade, me and my friends all were into skateboarding, and we'd have a video camera just filming our stupid little tricks we were doing, and we thought we were good. But and then like even the show Jackass, like just watching that and seeing how simple that show was, but it was like entertaining, and they it was just like, we could do stuff like that. So we just start filming stuff that around our houses, and it was like I kind of got into that side of it, not just the skating, but like making the videos. So I was always like interested in videography, and then just being at school and learning how websites are kind of built, and it's like, well, I could put a video together and put it on this website too, and like honestly filming like the rides and stuff, so we could watch them and study them, and like it was just kind of happening by default. And then and I was like, well, hey, I didn't make King of the Hill this whole summer, I might as well film it and shout everybody out. So I was like, that's kind of cool. Let's just throw that on the website. And little by little, we started getting this huge library of Hillclimb videos out. So it was just like, I don't know, I just always enjoyed making videos, and it just seemed like the logical thing to do, I guess. And it was just funny because like YouTube, I don't know when it started, 2006 or 7, 6, 7. my son will like that.
6'7".
Yeah, I didn't do that on purpose, but
Do you have a 6'7" jar at your house, Luke, where you gotta go put $1 in it now?
Yeah, I should. But one thing I did kind of screw up like early on is like I didn't put a whole lot of videos on YouTube because I didn't want the traffic just to go to YouTube and you get the views there. I wanted everybody to come to my website.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if I would have put every single video on YouTube from day one, like I probably could have really blew that channel up. And although like there's hundreds of videos on there, but I put every video on my own website and hosted it on my own because I like, if you want to watch this video, you got to go to my website. And like, I think it helps, but man, YouTube, is a juggernaut now. So I wish I would have maybe dug more into that, but I
don't think
you live and learn.
Yeah, and I don't think any of us knew what the future was there 100%, I mean, that was unexpected.
Yeah.
How great was it the first time that you had to find somebody to film the King of the Hill for you?
Yeah, finally. I forget what year that was, but Sarah was always really good about filming, and awesome. So a lot of the stuff like on the website, like she's the filmer behind it because I'm up. I ride 3 or 4 classes, so she was always down to film the all the rides and King of the Hill if I happen to be in it. So yeah, thankful she was there to man it. So awesome. Yeah, I forget what year or which race it was, but like, I'm in it. I can't film it. Here you go. So
someone's got to carry the torch, right?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about last week with Todd from US Hill Climbing, is just how you had got started. And it was like, for me, every time I made a King of the Hill, I was just refreshing your website and YouTube, or probably just your website 15 times a day on the Monday until the King of the Hill recap would come out, just chomping at the bit to watch it.
And then Logan's like, there's a KX with no front fender. That's me. I got to watch this.
Unfortunately.
We were all guilty of that at one point or another.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It's hard not to think of the old days and smile, isn't it, Luke?
Yeah. I mean, it's like the racing's one thing, but hanging out with, guys, like you guys, like just the people is what makes it fun. And I definitely look back at, all those different eras, and man, it was really cool part of my life. And I wouldn't trade it for anything, really.
Your dad, Jay, when you guys were getting back into it, he was always a little bit of a mad scientist. That's what I always thought. And one of my favorite quotes from your dad was when you were starting to get really hot into it. It was the year that you won at Devils. We were at Red Wing, and I think like the MX-11 just came out or something, right? Like the tire. And your dad's like, "How do you like it?" I'm like, "Man, it's freaking sick. It's a good tire." And he's like, "What does it weigh?" And I was like, "What does it weigh?" And he goes, "Yeah, the tire." And I'm like, "I've never weighed a tire." He goes, "I weigh all my tires." He's like, "What?" He goes, "You don't even know what it weighs?" And I'm like, "No." And I was like, I walked away and I'm like, man, that guy's on another level. Like, I don't even know what's going on. And then when you won at Devils, when I went up and shook your dad's hand and said, "Good job, Dad," he's like, "Heaviest damn tire we had. That's what it took."
Yeah. I mean, we were putting gas.
He didn't say dad. He said heaviest darn tire or whatever. But you get my point.
Yeah, he was into it. Like, and I think thinking of things like that is like, that's cool. Like, that's what makes racing like that elite. Like, when you lose by 0.05 of a second, it's like you're looking for every single edge. And I mean, there was all kinds of things we were doing. I mean, we had a cooler full of ice. We'd keep the gas in there to keep it cold and maybe get more horsepower out of it. My boots, I think in 2011, I think they were called Jet MX boots or something, and they were so light, but they were kind of slippery, but they weighed like nothing. And just things like that, where it's like, or we'd spread apart like the brake calipers and stuff just so there was no drag. And then like people come up and always like squeeze your front brake. I'm like, no. And you don't want any drag on this thing, just things like that. We were so obsessed with. So
it's so awesome. I love that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, one of my favorite memories of you racing, it had to have been Devil's Staircase, I think, when you won all 3 classes. But then the next year, you showed up, and I think it was the first race of the season, but you had all number ones and then red plates on the background. And I feel like we were all like looking around at each other like, what, you can do that? Like, this isn't Supercross. Like, what is this? And I remember that was like the coolest things. I swear to God, I don't think anybody's done that before, like the red plates and the number one. And I was just like, just starstruck. It was funny.
Yeah, I was like, well, if they're doing it in Supercross, like, why don't we do it? So yeah, we had them, I think at 4MX printed them up and slapped them all on. And I was honestly, as cool as that looked and having those on there, that first race back, I don't know where it was, but I was like so nervous, like there was like pressure, there was like weight on me for having all those number one ends on my bikes. And I think I just rode, I think my very first ride, it might've been like Mankato was the first race.
Usually it
when
was
I put
Mankato
those on. Yeah. And like, I would totally goon rind it like on my 250. And like it was, I just couldn't handle the pressure almost. So, there was like a good lesson there too of like, okay, like you won. Now we got to back it up and act like we've been here. But yeah,
I feel like it
did look cool though.
I feel like it was the same year. I think you won nationals in August. I feel it was like a fall Bay City race or something like that you guys came with the red plates. Cause it was like, that's where I was like, dang, like that's killer. I think it was the same year that you did it. It was awesome.
It was probably that Mankato New Ulm doubleheader, I bet. Cause that's always like one of the first ones after nationals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes whatever.
Yeah.
Either way.
So I had them printed right away and had to get them on there. So
yeah.
Good memories. Good times.
No cake plate, but they were cool.
Yeah. The font on my looked pretty aggressive, pretty cool. But yeah, we always gave Logan a hard time. Like, which bike was it? Your 250?
Yeah.
It's just the number one looked like it was like should have been on like a birthday cake or something. It was just, so
that's
awesome. Cake plate. That's what we started calling it.
Plate.
Oh
yeah.
Man.
It's perfect.
When was it, Luke, that you kind of started getting involved in more of the professional filming and production? Because I'm not positive, but I think the Catapult was one of your early on big time hits, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So that was 2011, and so that the year prior, 2010. Yeah, it was 2010. Verb Moto kind of reached out to me, and just luckily I got my name out there, right? And they're like, hey, we'd like to send you to the Millville Pro National and film like the video recaps for Verb Moto. And it was like, hell yeah, like let's sign me up, let's do it.
Awesome.
And so that was kind of my first time really working with like the pro side of like motocross, supercross, and what was awesome, man, like awesome day, 2010 Millville, and then the following year they hired me again, and yeah, happened to be in the right spot at the right time, and just caught Chad Reed coming over the Catapult and got it on camera somehow. I mean, it's so hard to like get passes, film the passes, and just film the action on outdoor motocross tracks. It's so spread out. There's hills, there's trees, there's people, but just happened to be up on that hill when they came around that corner and hit the jump. And I thought Chad had I thought his career was over. Like it was almost like,
yes,
I can't believe I just filmed that part of his career. But then he gets up and I filmed the whole thing. Like he hits the next step up on the hill, and it was just like, holy cow. So
yeah,
that was a really, I mean, probably top 3 moments filming wise on my life for sure. Capturing that.
It's not every day that you watch like Superman dust himself off, right? I mean, that's when that film makes every normal person understand that these are freaks, right? Like that dude just fell from a 4-story building and just banged his front lever down and took off again. I mean, that's insane.
Yeah, that was just, I mean, he got so lucky too. I mean, because there was like a side-by-side sitting there, and like the way he landed down slope, it was like, it worked out. But man, seeing it through my camera, it was like, dang, I just got Chad's last ever ride on his dirt bike, but luckily it wasn't. So
right. Wow.
For a young version of myself, I remember it was just so demoralizing watching that clip, because he just had the biggest crash of all time, and he gets on his bike, like Joel said, bangs his bar straight, and then throws like the cleanest little whip over that next step up. And I was like, every time I've been to Millville, I've never cleared that step up one time cleanly. And I'm trying as hard as I can. And he just doesn't, throws a whip after almost dying.
Yeah. Just casual whip, like nothing happens. So that dude's built different.
Yeah.
Wow. Is it, would you say now you've had a life in it, but is just like maintaining relationships so beneficial in your career? Because I mean, here you are as a young man trucking with Verb Moto and all these guys. I mean, that's got to be a big part of it, is just maintaining relationships, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. I mean, putting yourself out there to meet these people too, and just networking, and it really is all about who you know, and just going to the sandbox and hanging out with all these different racers, and not just hill climbers, but motocrossers, and everybody who came through there. It was like you start to meet all these people, and it just leads to the next thing. And then I meet up with the Getter family and Justin Hoyer, and just start getting into the snowmobile world, and then but yeah, I mean, even 10 years later, it's like still working with the Verb guys and everybody like at Supercross. So yeah, I mean, it is like the motocross world is kind of a small community once you kind of get to know like kind of the behind the scenes and stuff. And like all the Red Bull like dirt bike videos, it's the Verb Moto crew. I mean, it's Wes Williams and it's Danny Stewart, and I'm still buddies with those guys. They're not doing Verb stuff, really, but it's all like the cool, like they're just at Pastrana's like last week doing the 2-stroke thing with Kenny. So, yeah, it's just one big community really. And yeah, it's all about who you know really. And yeah, so.
Well, that you got to be crazy talented like yourself. I mean, it's like those 10,000 hours you put in to get there weren't by accident, right? So you got to have if you're going to walk the walk, or you're going to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk, right?
Yeah, that's part of it too, for sure. Yeah, don't want to forget about that.
Yeah. Well, hey boys, how about we take a real quick one here? And I think let's take a little break. Luke, we got a sponsor. This dude, he's cracking a whip. If we don't get our sponsor aired, we're going to hear about it. And during the break here, Luke, we got to bring you up to speed. We got this little thing called caught in your chain. I doubt that anything's ever bothered you, but we're going to bring you up. Maybe after the break, we can talk about, see if anything's caught in your chain. All right.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Hang on, folks. We'll be right back.
Against the Grain Design and Print is proud to announce its partnership with Find the Line. Against the Grain works with clients to build their business and racing goals through the design and production of premium stickers and decals. We offer one-of-a-kind subscriptions for a flat monthly fee that can save you hundreds of dollars. Custom mailers, white label printing, motocross graphics, and anything else you can think of, we have you covered. It's time to print your passion. Visit atgdesign.co or email sales@atgdesign.co.
Hey there, Find the Line listeners. We will always be looking for partnerships for Find the Line. Please email findthelinepod@gmail.com to see how we can work together to grow your brand. Once again, that's findthelinepod@gmail.com. Now, let's get back to it.
Woo! Oh, man. God, that sponsor. I mean, if there would have been an ATG design back in the day, they probably would have gifted the red plates to you, Luke. That's how they operate.
Hey, that'd be sick. Yeah. Love it.
No, we would have charged full retail.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Sorry.
We're not doing that well.
Luke's probably going to have 5 caught in his chains tomorrow. And there maybe by the end of the episode, he might have 1. But I did think of one that I got to think of later. But we'll talk about that at the end of the show here. But we were talking, you're involved. You're filming with Verb. You're doing Supercross. And by the way, the intros to Supercross, they've never been the same, have they, boys?
Nope.
You set the bar a little unobtainably high there. Those intros were next level.
Yeah, I mean, the bar was set so high when I got there that, I mean, it was like almost scary walking into that world. But after a few years, kind of got the hang of it and knowing what works and what doesn't. And we had some pretty cool rider intros for Supercross back in the day. I mean, yeah, Chad Reed had some good ones. Eli Tomac, I mean, we had him shooting a flaming arrow into a pile of his competitors' numbers plates. and then we had the pyro guys blow it up. I mean, just things like that are so like, I don't think they would ever do that nowadays. I mean, we had Ryan Vilpoto, like shooting it, like I forget what kind of gun it was, but shooting at his number plates, and then we blew those up too. I mean, just crazy things we could come up with and
That's awesome.
try to make work. So I think
people are soft now.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know if they're just trying to like speed it up or whatever, but yeah, they got to bring some of those back. I feel so. Be definitely a very cool era to have that job, really. So.
Well, that you were there during transfers, if I'm not wrong, right? Where was starting I mean, good God. I mean, that was like Evel Knievel starting the show off there. That was insane.
Yeah. And it was cool to just see him practice those like during the day or at press day. And like, I talked to him like, okay, where are you going to jump from? He's like, I'm going to jump from this bowl berm to like the landing of that triple, like 2 lanes over. I'm just like, how do you even see that? And they got to be so big and gnarly by the end of it. I mean, he cased the one in Houston, and I think that was the last one he did. And but man, what a cool just experiencing that like in person, and especially like under the lights, like just having spotlights. Like, dude, K-Dub is just insane for doing that. I mean, what a cool thing to see live, you know?
When he was talking about it, I can't remember what podcast he was on, but he was kind of recreating it. And he's like, what was key was the spotlight guy. Because he's like, I would have to have them point them at a very specific location. And he's like, I'd be coming down and I'm aiming for like the T on the sign on the side of the thing. And that's all I had to focus on was like, I've got to go for that T. And he's like, oh, this is 2 freaking spotlights. This is like, that guy's got something in him that nobody else has. I mean, who does that? And then after that, you're going to go into the most competitive race in the world. Okay.
Yeah. No big deal.
No big deal.
Yeah. So man, like, yeah, that honestly was so cool but the practice days when he was dialing those in it was just cool to just be a part of that. And I remember one time, I think it was in Toronto, I was standing on the berm that he was going to jump out of, and like he was kind of eyeing it up, and then like he turns around and he's like, Luke, move. Like I was too close to it, but it was just like casual, like, hey, I'm going to jump this. Just give me a little more room. And like he wasn't mad or anything, but it was like, yeah, you know, I got it. Sorry, K-Dub, I was in your way here. But, yeah.
Wow. I mean, I can't imagine involved in that. You have the travel aspect, and this was our very own Luke Cipala right now is going through this, where you have the travel aspect, you have the actual physical shooting aspect, but then the most time suck of all, the editing, right? Like you're just, whatever you shoot, it's probably 10, 20x for time editing afterwards. I can only imagine just seeing what you guys go through. I mean, were you feeling, maybe it was just too much after a while, or were you starting to transition, or you were marriage, be older dad stuff, or what kind of, how did that go? Because that's tough.
Yeah. I mean, you know, dream job, right? Like, why would you ever not be at Supercross every weekend? But yeah, once Logan, my son was born in 2014, it was like, okay, well, let's see if we can continue to travel and stuff. But after a few years, it just got to be way too much. Like I'd come home and he, you know, feel like he grew an inch or whatever, just changed all the time. And, you know, you got to be home when they're that little. And I was able to kind of do less races, and it worked for a little bit, but you know, at the end of the day, I just had to be home. And so by 2017, I had left Supercross and left my dream job. You know, if you would have told me that a few years ago, you know, when I first started, it was like, no way, like this is it, man. But yeah, walked away from it and left on good terms. And like I continued to go to races here and there, and they still hired me to do like their preview shows and stuff like that. So it worked out. But that, yeah, definitely led me to, well, now what am I gonna do? Well, I've got, you know, video skills,
right?
You know, YouTube and stuff, social media is huge. So I think I just got to start my own Luke Parmeter Productions and
heck yeah,
you know, see what I can do out in the real world. So that
go buy a van and go make some stuff happen, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, little by little, just got to got more and more clients in different industries. And really what was cool about it was applying everything I learned from the Supercross world into these other industries and just looking at it from a whole different viewpoint. And I think that's kind of what separated maybe me from the traditional video production house down the street.
Oh, absolutely. Because I that's what I think is so cool. I wanted to talk about this is you go from filming the most talented freak athletes in the world, right? On these crazy machines. And then when you you flip it and now you're filming a guy in a skid steer, you're making that skid steer look sporty. Right? I mean, it's sick. Like that racer's eye that you had of filming and angles. And when you started to share other things on socials of what you were doing, I was like, how freaking cool that you're able to meld that talent and make that a sport, like the landscaping and everything look like a sport, not a job. It was cool. It was so freaking cool.
Yeah. Thank you. And it was exciting for me because it was just like something totally new. And it's like, okay, well, how can we make this look as, badass as it can? Something that might be boring on the outside, but there's ways to okay, if we get a macro lens and we just shoot it from an inch away and make it look larger than life. And then drones came into play. And so I really love diving into these new industries that I had never been part of. And I'm sure people were like you were filming dirt bikes, Supercross, and now you're filming, trying to think of some random ones I was doing, but it was all fun, hey, I'm free to work with whoever now. And I really love that aspect of it.
Yeah. And I don't mean to put you on the spot here, but have you seen Luke Cipala has been part of Farms of America, the TV show? Luke, have you heard anything about that?
Yeah, it actually popped up on I don't know if it was my YouTube feed or whatever, but I've seen all the behind the scenes and kudos to you, the grind of traveling like that is and I do it, take full advantage of that. Cause what an experience to literally see the farms across America. Right. And the level of detail and stuff that you're taking it to and how cinematic, it's awesome. I don't know how you landed that gig, but awesome, awesome thing to be a part of. So I have it stayed on my watch list and I don't know how it popped up. I think it was on YouTube, but it's legit. So kudos, man.
Well, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, it's definitely been cool. Just, traveling and getting, the biggest thing is just meeting people too, and learning how, and at the core of it too, it's I just love learning about how people are become successful. And that's literally my favorite part about all of it. Cause every single one of them, they're just businesses and they worked harder and did things differently than most people. And, that's why they're successful, which you can apply to any part of anybody's life. So that's definitely been a cool part of it.
Yeah. The
Luke
grind
Productions. Sorry, Luke Parmeter Productions definitely inspired some of those drone shots though, right, LC?
Yeah. A lot of, I remember a lot of Luke's stuff obviously has, I went and interviewed him for a college class 5 years ago. I'll never freaking forget it because every time I'm editing a piece, it comes into my mind, his voice talking about it, but his view of incorporating, because I never knew really why, I liked so many of his videos, but after he said this, I was I think it's just the emotion that he puts into it. And he, correct me if I'm wrong, Luke, but when he was, whatever video he's making, he's always or when it was started with the dirt bikes, it was how can I get, my girlfriend at the time, now wife, to like these videos, and that's even with right now with what we're doing with farming, it's I don't want just farmers to watch this. It's I want, people like my mom to sit down and watch it and get invested in these people. And that's one of the biggest things that I don't think I'll, never forget. And the biggest thing I took away from his work. And that's why I think that's why so many people like his work. Cause it's everyone's human, so it doesn't matter what it is, if it's a concrete business, epoxy flooring, construction. It's if you bring in emotion into it and characters, everybody can get involved with it. So it's just every time I start a piece, I just hear that little freaking quote from now over 5 years ago in my head, and I think that's definitely a big thing.
Yeah, no, that's really cool to hear. And yeah, that's really what it comes down to is just that emotion, that grittiness that you can feel while you're watching it. And the story part of it. So that's cool. That's really cool to hear. So thank you. Thanks for sharing that. That's love that.
Yeah, I don't know if you wanted to know you're in my head every day pretty much, but
I'm sorry.
That's cool. Going back, and thanks for sharing with that, Luke, LC. That was cool. And I just, it's so fun seeing what you, Luke Parmeter, have done in such a, you're so young, and all the people that you've touched in the short amount of time is really cool, and still continue to do. But when we're talking about transitioning from Supercross to going Luke Parmeter Productions and being more around home, God, that must have felt good to be home every night, to see your kids, to go out and use this talent that you've worked for so long. And now you're filming landscape and all the different stuff that you're doing. And did you have that aha moment where it's like, damn it, I have a skill for the rest of my life here?
Well, I mean, really at first it was like just a little scary because it's like, where's my next paycheck going to come from, and, but yeah, just like, I mean, I think one of my first gigs after Supercross was with Dirt Monkey Excavating. So it was like, well, I met him, I think, at the Sandbox. So he knew I was done with Supercross, so he hired me. And then like that just keeps leading to more and more jobs. And it was almost like every job I got just led to another one. So once I kind of saw that was taking place, it was like, okay, this is going to work out. And, as long as we just keep putting in good work and putting effort into it and just doing the best we can, like it's going to lead to more work. And it's like my advertising, I didn't ever advertise, but if the last video I did is good, it's going to lead to more work. And that was almost like almost my motivation sometimes, was like, just make this so good that it's going to lead to another job was kind of my mentality. And yeah, it was awesome. Yeah. Getting calls and emails and, people wanting to work with you. Like that was really cool feeling, especially after leaving Supercross and that environment to now just, hey, anybody can hire me now. So yeah, definitely a good feeling once it got rolling there.
Oh, hell yeah. And how did it work with Hardscape Mentor? When did this kind of become a part of your life, and kind of how did you get this relationship and this whole thing off the ground and going?
Yeah. So I met this guy named Dan Creston. He lives in Wisconsin Rapids here. And I didn't even know what hardscaping was, but he just builds these crazy outdoor living spaces. And I got linked up with him on a Golden Eagle project, and we kind of hit it off. And I just liked what he was doing, like visually, like filming wise. I just saw a lot of opportunities to make it look epic, just because he's like an artist, he's building these crazy patios and using all these different materials. And I was like, I think we could work together. So he ended up hiring me to do his marketing for a couple of years. And then after a while, like his presence online grows. All these other hardscapers are following him, and they're starting to ask him questions on like, hey, how did you build this? Like, what material are you using? And kind of we just saw like a need potentially where, what if we turned all these videos that are marketing videos and we redid them and made them into like training videos and tutorials. So we formed a new company together called Hardscape Mentor. And I think this was I first met him in 2018, 2019. And then we formed Hardscape Mentor in 2022. And we basically created the largest training library for hardscapers like out there. And we have a smartphone app. I mean, it's insane what we've done the last couple of years. And so it's like a membership platform, kind of like a Netflix model. As long as you have an account, you access all these videos. And we just built like the fantasy factory for hardscaping, basically. So we've got our own building now, and we're going to be doing some really cool things inside there where we can build stuff inside, film it, tear it out, build something new again, and just keep repeating that process and bring people in for events. And we're going to really blow up the industry even more with this space we have now. But yeah, and it's been really fun building that brand, because again, going back to Supercross, it's like if Red Bull or Monster Energy started a hardscape training company, this is what it would look like. And I mean, even like we were at a big convention down in Louisville. We've gone there the past few years. I didn't go because of my injury this year, but that the booth set up, it was like, here's what Monster Energy does. They have lights, they have like bassy music. There's just a vibe when you walk in here. And I just picked up on that from DNS Supercross, you know. So we made our booth look like that. And all these other booths there were just so boring and, you know, gray and looked like, you know, just lame, you know. So we just stuck out like a sore thumb there. And then all of our members come through, and it was like we threw a party there. So, I mean, that building that that brand has just been so much fun. And working with Dan's awesome too, because like he is like the best hardscaper in the country, and he lives just down the road. So for us two to link up, it's I feel like a pretty cool team we have here. And I love it. I never, like I said, I didn't even know what the word hardscaping was a few years ago.
Right.
But it's bricks, blocks, stones, and rocks. And, you know, we're making the best tutorials out there. We have a huge social media presence too, and just blowing it up. So I'm super excited about this new venture we got going on. And never would have expected.
I think it's brilliant. And I'm in part of the building industry or whatever. And I got to think that is definitely one of the top things that people try to do themselves is outdoor landscaping, right? I mean, not everybody just decides like, oh, nope, that plumber's bid's too much. I'm going to do all the plumbing in my house, or, you know, oh, the electrician, I'm going to wire my house. But people are like, well, I can put down stones on a patio. They don't know how to do it, but now you help give them tools to help do it. And I think that's just perfect. I mean, it's perfect. And then I wonder if, you know, you could just make a living off the comments, because, you know, like Whistle and Diesel, you know, like that he's made a living off just people being upset commenting. And I got to think that that's just a excess of comments, because everybody has an opinion on how to do stuff. Right.
Oh yeah. And sometimes we even make videos that we know are going to be controversial, and because like the more comments you get, the more people it's going to reach. Like that's just how the game is. So we'll sometimes, you know, walk that fine line of like, hey, I bet you this is going to get a lot of, you know, feedback and stuff. But yeah, and it's like the more popular video gets, the more these bed bugs come out and leave comments. And but it's all good, you know. Like we know the construction methods that Dan teaches is like the best out there. And a lot of it, people like, it's just they've never built something that way. So like, well, that's not how you do it. It's like, okay, cool. Like keep doing it your way. But it's we don't advertise anything on that. It's all social media content. It's all, you know, original stuff we come up with. So social media is, you know, like Whistling Diesel, like, you know, half the stuff he does is just to draw comments, right? So
yes,
we get it.
Well, it's like you know, being in the building industry, and then if my wife is watching HGTV, it's just like you can't not comment, right? You watch somebody, it's like that person has obviously never done that before, and they're filming them, you know. So it's like having a true a savant or expert as your business partner there. That's awesome, because you're not pretending. You know exactly what you're doing, and you're actually helping people, right? It's not just content. You're actually helping people. That's how you know it's going to be successful.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, yeah, he's been in the field for 20 plus years and knows what he's doing, and you know, he's got street cred, and it's cool to hear the feedback. When we first started, we didn't see this coming, but like people are using it to train their crew guys. So they'll all download our app and they'll access the videos, and like now all their crew is watching it, and then it's saving them money because they don't have to like go out to the field and fix stuff that they didn't know how to build. So we're really leaning into the crew training side of it now, and man, it's just been so fun to build this brand.
That's cool. Well, if you need to jump the numbers, I would say contact Fancy Hardscapes. That's Josh Mueller out in Kewaskum. Not too bad. You know, most women don't mind looking at Josh. Might be okay, and he's super talented, right? Maybe that could be a good little co-production or something like that. I don't know the word, but
I got to reach out to him and get him in there and stuff. And he does amazing work. So I mean, like I said, another connection from the dirt bike world, right?
Right.
Never end.
It never ends. And then we've kind of touched on it, but your family, your father owns Golden Eagle Log and Timber Homes, and all started from your grandpa Wally, which is so cool that just this family business that your father has just, leaps and bounds improved year after year. And you yourself has been a big part of this, and you guys have a very big social platform, and you've used it to help build their industry. How fun has that been to kind of take your talent and you went out on your own? Your family wasn't filming artists, right? They were in the building industry, right? And then you went out, farmed this talent, and then you said, "Hey, I think I can help you here." And then you come in, and how that must be fun for your dad when he can see you flex your skills. But how has that kind of been to weave in and out of the family business a little bit like that?
Yeah, it's been a really, I mean, just satisfying, I guess, to see the feedback from their clients and stuff. And like, hey, we found you guys on YouTube. We watched all these videos and we fell in love with this house, and they end up building a house just like that. So to really see the impacts, like these videos that we're making, like what they're actually doing and helping them grow has been amazing. I mean, they're Golden Eagle Log and Timber Homes, like they make the best ultra custom homes, out there. So from my point, it's pretty easy to make them look good. So that's, that makes it easy for me. Right. But, we've gone all over the country, filming these home tours and now I've got some other filmers that are helping me with travel, and it's like, they just want to keep pushing content out there because, people just want ideas. They want to see what other people have done. And, for me to, play a role in that's been awesome. And whether it's on Instagram or Facebook, YouTube's kind of the big one, getting their channel as big as we can and making these tours. It's a lot of work to make a 20-minute home tour. And, especially traveling, trying to get in and out, maybe dealing with weather. It's like, we've got a kind of down to a science of like what we have to do when we get there. And, but getting really efficient at it. And, I love it. I mean, every home is different. So for me, it's like, how do we make this look at its best? Like at what, time of day and, what kind of music fits this room, what's the vibe here. And so a lot of cool things. And I mean, we even built a podcast studio at Golden Eagle. So now there's like a full production house in there where we can kind of go in there, flip a few switches, and we're recording a podcast now. So it's I mean, social media content is the name of the game. And I think my dad was early on that, and he was big on like, I don't know, in the early 2000s, just showing up number one on search on Google and seeing like the video side come up. So, we've taken advantage of that, and just run with making content. So, I love it. I mean, their homes are so cool, and, I've got land just a few minutes away. So I'll hopefully be building one in a few years, and maybe we'll do a video on that one too. But Golden Eagle, that's where it's at, man.
Well, and your family, you guys build dreams, right? I mean, if you want a log home, it's not a spur of the moment thing. This is a dream you've had for a long time. And what a great way how you show these homes and how different they all are. And that's what's so amazing is you guys have the ability to build the same long-lasting frame that will outlast anything, but yet format it in so many different ways and venues, from out in mountains in the middle of the Rockies to right in town in Arizona or whatever. It's like there's all these different ways, and that's what's cool is when you have a custom dream like that, you can see everybody else's, and you guys do just such a great job of showcasing what people wanted and what their idea was and how you guys got there. And that just makes people excited to build their dream, right? Because it's a scary thing. And it's when you get to see that somebody else had ideas and how they got fulfilled, that really helps, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. And, there's so many talented people at Golden Eagle that are behind the scenes that make this happen. And which is cool because a lot of these customers will show up to Golden Eagle and they already know the sales guys. They already know Justin and John because they've seen them in videos. And just that trust is there. And
right.
But it's really cool. And, whether it's their timber style homes that are more modern or the traditional full log cabin look. I mean,
right.
There's so many cool homes across the country that they've done. So yeah, kudos to them for, just everything they've done. It's just so cool to see.
Yeah. Cool. And how fun to be a part of it, right? That's pretty neat.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
What a career. Dang. You've kind of, I just can't imagine for someone like yourself being so young and done so much already. It's got to just be fun to what's next, right? At this point in your life, like where's the van going to lead next, right? That's got to be exciting, huh?
Yeah, that's definitely, good question. Looking back at everything I've done, no regrets, and, everything you learn from everything you do, you apply it to the next thing, you try to figure out what's coming next. And I'm really, really happy with where I'm at now with my career and just family and everything. It's awesome, being in my hometown and having family here and
right.
Watching my kids grow and it's been awesome. Like really, I look back at especially the Supercross stuff. It's just I cannot believe I was hanging out with James Stewart at his house or going to Ricky Carmichael's or getting drunk with Kevin Windham in New York City and just, I should probably write a book someday so I don't forget all these things. But
yes, you should.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's been awesome. And
So we brought it up a little bit in the intro and we talked right after, and a little bit on a part that you weren't expecting in life, but mountain biking, you sustained an injury. And I thought bicycles were supposed to be safe. What's going on, Luke?
I know. That's why I started mountain biking, because I was like, well, I don't dirt bike anymore. This will be safer than that. So no big deal. But the last probably 8 years, I've really got into cycling and mountain biking and did some cross country racing. And then my local trail is amazing. It's called Standing Rocks. They have an enduro every year. And I kind of just was like, I'm just going to focus on that event. And it's just enduro mountain biking is there's probably 8 different time stages. And it's all over the gnarly stuff that they have there and jump lines and stuff. And then you just have to get it all done within a certain time frame. And then they just add up the stages and, fastest time wins basically. So
cool.
Trained all summer. There's this really gnarly, I think there was 7 jumps in this one jump line, right after another. And they had built it up pretty big last summer. And I was a little sketched out on doing it, but I think probably 3 or 4 weeks before the race, I finally manned up and hit all the jumps, and it was way easier than I thought it was going to be. So did it probably another 30 times, did it during the race, and no big deal. And the race went pretty well. I got second in my age group, and
nice.
Race expert, totally new. I was 14th out of 55. I was happy with that.
Hell yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, it was a good summer and just a good end to the race, I guess. And then my son Logan actually got third in his age group. He had to race he's 11 and he had to race 14, 15-year-olds. So he got on the podium, which is awesome. So he was
awesome.
Yeah, it was great. So week goes by, I end up buying an e-bike because the reason I got an e-bike was so I could get up the hill faster and just get more runs in, right?
Yeah, don't explain to us. We're pro e-bike here, okay?
Okay,
we're
perfect.
not haters, all right?
Yeah.
A former rant on Caught in the Chain was from an e-bike. We love them, okay?
Perfect.
You don't have to explain yourself to us. We get it.
Yeah, but that was the goal, was just so I could get more reps in. It's just so I get to the top of the hill, so I could hit the downhill faster, right? So it's my third ride on the e-bike. It was September 1st, wedding anniversary that day, go for my normal ride. I get to the trail, head up to the top of the run and hit the first 2 jumps. And like, if you hit the first 2, it sets you up for the rest of it. So hit the first 2 fine. And the next part, it's like a step on and then it's a step off. But the step off is like a drop and it's probably like 8 feet. And then you have to like, it's almost like a double, like you have to clear it to the downside. So I don't know what happened. I came up way short off the step off and like cased the heck out of it, flip over the bars and, you know, toss down the hill. And I, you know, stop, I'm on my stomach and I'm like, what the hell just happened? And I'm like, okay, can I wiggle my toes? Yep. I move my legs, I move my right leg. And then I go to move my left leg and I'm like, something's not right here. Like I thought my femur snapped. So I'm just sitting there. I'm like, dude, this is not good. So luckily my phone's on me. It's in my cargo pocket. I get it out. I try to call Caitlin, my wife. Call doesn't go through. I'm like, oh gosh, this is not good. So I go to the keypad and I'm like, I've never done this before. 911.
Oh, yikes. Yeah, that's scary.
Call. Yeah. So yeah, luckily the call goes through and I'm like, hey, I'm at Standing Rocks Park. I think I snapped my femur. I'm going to need an ambulance here right away. And yeah, it was pretty heavy, like just being in that position and, you're helpless really. So luckily my phone, phone wasn't on my bike and it tossed into the woods 50 feet away. So I mean, I think it took probably a half hour before they got there. And, I was just dreading like going onto the backboard and just wondering what my leg was going to do. And so he loaded me up into a 6-wheeler side by side and drive me out of there. And we get to the hospital and they're like, yeah, so you separated your hip, like your femur, like pushed through your hip socket on impact and like broke the hip socket, like the acetabulum bone is called. So they're like, you're going to have surgery to have that repaired. I'm just like, okay. Like, I mean, I was like, would a femur been better? I don't know. But
yes, a femur would have been better. That sounds awful. Oh, no.
Yeah. So actually while this was happening, I was like, didn't Jeremy McGrath like dislocate his hip on the KTM when he got on that thing? And I looked it up and he did the same thing. He didn't break his hip socket, but he had kind of the same injury. So if the hip socket went to broken, they would have just reset it and it would have been, probably would have left that night. But the, had to be surgically repaired. So 2 days later, they put, I think, 5 or 6 screws in and a huge plate in there as well. And they're like, well, yeah, 6 to 8 weeks, non-weight bearing and, get through it. But the whole time when this happened, like my foot on that leg was just always like really like a numb, sleepy feeling. And it was just super annoying. And like, I still don't have a whole lot of feeling in my heel. Like it's kind of coming back, but my heel is kind of like, you touch it, it's like nothing's there. So I've like the hip this whole time has been very low key. I mean, the hip has been healed up very well. It's been like the least of my worries, but I just had super bad. So it's been like nerve pain down in my foot.
That's the worst too.
It's terrible. Yeah. Like it's like, it's hard to sleep. Like no pain meds seem to really help with that. Finally, that's getting better, but that's been the most annoying part of this whole thing. But then I think it was probably 5 weeks after surgery, my foot was like, my ankle was kind of swollen up and the pain in my foot was just like unbearable. And I'm just like, what is going on? I thought maybe did I fracture my foot in this thing? We just never caught it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like either that or like, I don't know, blood clot or something. So we go in like Friday morning and they do a blood test to see if I have any blood clots and they came back positive. So I was like, okay, how bad is it? So then they did an ultrasound on my leg and they're like, your whole leg is like clotted up. Like it's not good.
Whoa.
So they're like, you should probably get a CT scan to make sure you don't have any clots in your lung. And I'm like, okay, this is getting pretty serious now.
Right.
So I go kind of getting.
Yeah, no, dude, this is like, this isn't stuff you're supposed to have to go through in life. You're not supposed to, you're just supposed to go ride your bicycle and come home. It's not easy when you're doing this. But, you know, the cool thing is about talking about this, Luke, is that you realize something wasn't right. And as a dad, you don't want to distract from the family, right? Like you just want to do everything you can and fix all the problems. But when something's not right, you got to go to the doctor, right?
Yeah.
Like, because you found out that you had blood clots where they weren't supposed to be, didn't you?
Yeah. So yeah, huge blood clot in my right lung. I mean, they're like, I was at another hospital getting scanned on, and my primary my doctor calls me. He's like, hey, just walk right over to the ER if you're still there, because like they're going to have to take care of this right away. So get admitted, and they had to send me to Wausau, another hospital. And this all happens Friday. And then Saturday morning, the doctor comes in. He's like, all right, we got to get that thing out of there. Like it's not good. So yeah, forget the name of the procedure, but they went up like through my leg, like a catheter style through the vein, went through my heart, like sucked the clot out of there, and got rid of it. And after the procedure, they're like, you want to see it? And I'm like, sure. So they had it on a piece of like 8.5 by 11 paper with like your lungs kind of overlaid, and they kind of put it where it was in my lungs. I mean, it was blocking like 80% of the lung, and it was just like,
holy shit.
And like, I didn't really have any other like symptoms. So it's like, how the heck does this go? Does this happen? And like, so it was super heavy. I mean, yes. I mean, just kind of get choked up talking about it, but
yeah,
thank God. Like, we went in and they were able to get that thing out of there. Cause I mean, could have been really bad, and all this because I screwed up a freaking step on, step off on my mountain bike, right? But yeah, so then, so now I would be on blood thinners for 6 months, and the leg one, just dissolving away, and so just got to kind of chill for a while, and not hit my head or anything and cause internal bleeding for a while, but should be ready to go by April or May or whenever, and I'm still gonna ride bikes. I probably won't hit those jumps or anything for maybe ever. But I don't want to stop riding bikes or anything like that. Maybe I'll get more into cross country racing like I used to and keep the wheels on the ground. But that was, breaking bones is one thing, but when they're like, you got a blood clot up in your lungs, like that's a whole different thing. So,
what's so crazy, like for me, I've gone through, obviously not anything like that, but with a couple injuries I have, you get like the last surgery I had, they talk to you about blood clots and making sure you stay moving and all this. And I just like brush it off like it's no big deal. I'm like, I'm young and healthy. That's not going to happen. It's like, you just proved and are a proof that like it can. And it's like, it's pretty serious deal no matter what kind of surgery you go through or what the injury is or how young and healthy. Like I would have never expected that it can get that bad that quick or be serious like that. Like I said, I just brush it off. So it's just freaking crazy and scary on top of it. But
for sure. And like, luckily, it wasn't like I was just sitting on the couch for 24 hours a day. Like I'm getting up and going to the bathroom. Like I'm, using my walker. I don't know. Like, and I was on enough Tylenol and stuff. I feel like my wife was, she's a PA. So she was just like, how did this happen? Like,
oh, it's crazy.
So just very thankful it all worked out. And, man, you never know. Right. So crazy. If I were to do it all again, I guess I would have, tried to get up every 30 minutes or something, I guess just it wasn't enough, I guess. And, but anyways, we're on the mend, and we'll be back.
Sometimes the circumstances of life are you're unavoidable to the outcomes, right? Like you weren't maliciously doing anything to put this upon yourself. Like you can't say, oh, just because I was riding my bike, this happened. No, you could have been walking down the street and get hit by a car, right? I mean, it's like you want to show. I mean, for me, I want to show my kids like I'm gonna be responsible, but I'm gonna do every damn thing that I love, right? I'm gonna hug you. I'm gonna ride my dirt bikes. I'm gonna go ride my mountain bike. I'm gonna do whatever because I love to do it, you know. And it's like I think that as parents, we got to show our kids like, yeah, bad things can happen. That's life. But guess, you know, we all have friends that aren't here and they did nothing because of it. It just their bad luck of that day. We got to live for them. And I hope that I hope, you know, sometimes when it gets dark, life gets the brightest it's ever been, right? Like, you know, it's just so easy every day to expect it just to go right, you know? And every now and then when you have that bad day, it makes like that coffee taste a little bit better, that hug from your kids a little bit sweeter, you know, everything, right? So you're here, we're talking, you're living, and let's just make the best we can, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you take things for granted and just, you know, it's just everything that bothers you, you know, like just little things. It's like, you know, that doesn't really matter. You know, it just kind of gives you a different perspective on things. And definitely what a crazy couple months it's been here. But yeah, now I'm starting to walk on my own, and that's been good. You know, I think once you kind of start getting back to those normal routines, like everything kind of just starts functioning and just, you know, gets back to normal. So ditch the walker, ditch the crutches now, and just kind of, moving slowly, but we're getting there. So, yeah.
So on a much, much brighter note, I'm curious if your PR guy is for hire and if you have a contact for him, because I'm pretty impressed with the PRs that have been coming out of the Luke Parmeter Productions camp.
Yeah. I was sitting there at the hospital and I was like, let's just have fun with like, because I wanted like people to know what happened, but I was like, again, being like from the racing community, they would have a press release come out if somebody got hurt. It's like, I'm just going to make a fake one and make, you know, poke fun at what I did. And so, yeah, I think some people thought it was like serious. Like, was this in the paper or something? Like, no. Yeah.
It was perfect.
So, yeah.
It was great. Yeah. I was laughing a little bit at the word, not laughing at you, laughing with you reading it. Let's say that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, it had to be done.
One last thing on your hip injury or your socket. What did they say about that? If that heals correctly, are you going to have all your same range of movement, or what can you expect from that injury?
Yeah, sounds like it should be all back to normal, you know, just going to take some time. And like I said earlier, so like the hip has been the least of my worries, like no pain, no nothing. It's just my foot this whole time. Right. So, and like my calf is really like tight and so like trying to get that stretched out, and like, so I think as long as we can get that figured out and hopefully like all the feeling comes back in my heel, I think we'll be good to go, you know? So it's just taking a while, you know?
Those freaking nerves suck because, you know, they don't get any blood. So they don't heal worth a damn. It takes forever. I've had like drop hand and drop foot from injuries. And, you know, like your foot, like you can't lift it up. Like it's that nerve on your tibia. I smashed it when one of the injuries, and I couldn't pick my foot up, and I got fitted for the boot and everything. And they're like, well, sometimes it doesn't come back. Sometimes it does. And like 6 months into it, every morning I'd put my foot on the floor and slide my sock down the floor to put it on my foot because I couldn't lift it up. And one morning I went to do it. I lift my foot up. I'm like, son of a bitch, I'm back. You know, it's just like nerves they're just crazy. Like it just all of a sudden one day I could pick my foot up. So wow, I'm predicting the same thing for your heel, Luke. One day your heel's going to be just back to normal. So that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah. Yeah. That's well, good to hear that worked out. Yeah. Worked out for you. Yeah. It's just crazy how, the nerves work. And like, I think only like so much heals per day, like a millimeter or something crazy. So it might take a while, but we're getting there. So,
just the trauma of the incident and then the trauma of the surgery. That's half the thing that messes up. They cut through you and get so much crap when they're cutting India. It just, it sucks. But
the scar I have on the side of my butt cheek is like, I was blown away when I first saw it because the bandage was like huge. And I thought like the incision was going to be like a couple inches, but dude, it's like 7-8 inches. I'm like, did I get like a butt lift or like, butt injection here too while I was done? I'm like, what is this for? But yeah. So lads, I mean, once I saw how big they opened me up, I was like, well, yeah, this is a big deal. We got to let this thing heal, and let the nerves heal. But like my surgeon just kept saying, like, your nerves are angry. Like so much has happened. You got to be patient with this. So yeah.
You're gonna have to go really small Speedo to get the comments at the pool. Like if way up on your butt cheek, damn shark got after me back in, hot 8, or whatever. But that's a tough spot to show off right there.
I know, it's such a nasty looking scar. No one's ever gonna see it. So I don't know. It is what it is.
That happens. Well, your wife can enjoy it, I guess, right? Quickly, I guess we've kept you so long, but Luke, can you hit it?
Rolling smooth and bam, it hits. Something in your sprocket throwing fits. A pebble, a problem, some petty pain. Time to sound off what's caught in your chain.
Woo! Okay, we explain a little bit. But this is stuff that can annoy you. It might be traffic, maybe something else. Mine this week. Well, I guess you could call it petty, but we have a group, and it's Logan, myself, and the All Philish boys, Matt and Chad. We call it Tom Central, okay? And
I don't like where this is going already.
Well, and it's Tom Central because I don't know if I've ever really explained it, but in Ellsworth, you just call everybody Tom, okay? And then Tom is like the F word, like how flexible the F word is. It can be the most heartfelt word you've ever uttered or the most angry word. That's how Tom is. Like Logan could, set fast time and be like, yeah, Tom, or Logan could fall down the stairs and be like, what a Tom, so it's like, that's how flexible the word is. So that's why we're Tom Central. But we have a couple get-togethers every year, and we like to combine golf clubs and dirt bikes, right, Luke? Okay. And it's been super fun because I partner with Chad Allfillish, and we're moderate golfers or whatever. And Logan has just been a terrible golfer, just awful. Like the first few years, maybe 3 or 4 solid contact shots each round. And we would pair him with Matt Allfillish, who's a fantastic golfer, like single-digit handicap golfer, right? And we would do a little 2-man scramble, and Chad and I would just mop the effing floor with them, right? Like it wasn't even fun. Like we would just destroy them, okay? Well, you don't.
It was downright degrading.
Yes.
At times.
You don't poke a bear with a stick, Luke, because what happens is we happen to know the 895 is extremely competitive, right? And he's made it a one-man mission to go out and get really damn good at golf, like really good. And we just had our Tom Central meetup in Elizabeth, and they kicked the ever-living shit out of Chad and I. And to the point where Chad Allfillish could be the nicest person I've ever met, ever. And he was literally getting in the cart and 4-letter wording like, where the hell did this come from? Logan can chip now. Logan's got touch. Logan's hitting every fairway. It killed our mood. It was awful. Like now Chad and I have to go back to work. We got to work just because we kept poking that bear, and we didn't let him forget it either. We always reminded them how bad they were, and now we got to deal with it. They just absolutely destroyed us. So my warning, my annoyance is don't poke your competitive friends and make them get good, because now it's going to be back on Chad and I to get better. So in a backwards way, congratulations, Logan, on your championship.
It was like Luke was saying earlier on, where he just woke up one day and realized that he needed to put in the work to be the best. And that was what I did.
Yes, you did. It was impressive. Damn. So that's my caught in my chain. Luke Cipala, you got anything caught in your chain?
A little bit.
Okay.
So obviously Against the Grain, the against the grain design and print printer. After 3 years of doing my own maintenance, I finally had to call in a maintenance guy. And first off, that's a whole nother story, because for some reason, to find information on how to service on printers is impossible. The manuals, they don't make sense. They're like obviously translated. I feel like they don't want you to work on them because they want you to use their sales guys and their maintenance guys, but then there's no maintenance guys anywhere. Like the guy I was working with was 85 years old, smoked probably a pack a day. Craig, he just, rest in peace, recently passed last year.
No.
And after he died, I was like, I'm screwed. If something happens, like, what am I going to do? Because there's just nobody around. Finally got in contact with someone like 6 months ago. Probably going to drive me into bankruptcy after he left today with some of the stuff that he did, but got me all tuned up. But long story short, went through all the maintenance things when I got this thing to go through everything. Never got one piece of advice or instruction on cleaning. As the print head moves across on the track, that it slides back and forth as it prints.
Yeah.
And supposedly that's supposed to be greased. And never got any of that. So he was like, "Man, that thing is bone dry. You see how loud that is?" So he puts the last thing, because he's there. Obviously, I'm already gonna cost me an arm and a leg. So I'm like, "Well, just go through everything, So that's where he gets the grease on there. And he's like, "Yeah, it's not a huge deal," but I was like, "Okay, whatever." So then he leaves to get it all set up. It starts working again, good. And I do a test print, and I think something's wrong because it's just like silent. Like I'm over, I was like, does that sound like it's printing? I come back in here, it's printing, it's silent. So so basically I spent 3 years when it prints, it's pretty loud. Like when I would have podcasts and I would have my phone in the back of my hood, volume all the way up, just so I could hear when my printer was going back and forth. All because it wasn't greased. And
God. Oh, buddy.
3 years of my life just getting not anywhere in the owner's manual, all the people I talked to, nothing, but just a little bit of grease. And now I can actually hear my own thoughts 3 years later.
Well, I guess you get some satisfaction off the bill you're going to have to pay then, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish people would just explain a little bit to us every now and then, right? Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tom, Logan, you got anything?
No, not this week.
Not this week. Did anything come to mind from Parmeter Productions? Has there been anything caught in your chain, or you want to write one in later?
Well, let's just go with what I was just talking about, nerve pain. Like, dude, I bust my hip. That should be the source of pain. That's perfectly fine. And now I just have nerve pain in my foot for 2 months straight. So I'm going to just, we'll go with nerve pain and all the crap that comes with that. So I wish I had a better one, but that's what's always on my mind.
That's a good
lately.
one. It's a good one.
That's a good one. That's a valid caught in your chain. Yeah. Because there's nothing you can do about it. Right. So that's the ultimate caught in your chain.
Yeah.
Right? Oh man. Well, crazy.
It's like whatever. I guess it was 6 months after my foot surgery last year. I developed this random nerve pain and dealt with it for a few months, and went back to my surgeon, and he looks at it, he's like, "Yeah, it's blah, blah, blah. It's probably just a coincidence." I'm like, you can't convince me that this is just a coincidence.
No, this is not a coincidence.
And I look up the causes of this particular nerve pain, and it says like trauma to the foot. I'm like, okay, there we go. Or surgery to the foot. I'm like, all right. So thanks for telling me to come in because of my nerve pain, billing me $1,000 to squeeze my foot and look at it, and then tell me it's a coincidence and sending me on my way home.
Oh,
wow.
So
yeah, that's the ultimate. That's a constant caught in your chain right there.
Yeah. The medical system.
Oh man. Well, dude, Luke Parmeter, thank you so much, sharing so much of your life, your story tonight, but more so, You've inspired so many of us, Luke, and thank you for sharing your talents with our small sport and also the ginormous sport of Supercross, and now hardscapes and the local contractors and the people you're working with. And I just think it's so awesome that you can go out and self-teach and research and find something that you had never been a part of, but now you're a master of, and you continue to learn. And that's just, it's amazing what's possible in one person's life with just an ass load of drive and want to. And it's just, I love your story. I wish that everybody young would hear your story and understand what's possible when you just reach in and grab something you really want. And that's not even talking your riding history, and your riding is so similar to your work history, is how hard you've worked in both of them. And, you know, we didn't get to touch on it because being injured, we want to bring up, but God, we'd love to see you back on the twist throttle with the clutch in the left hand at some point. You know, they got a plus 40 class that's saucy, and even a plus 50 class that gets saucy, Luke. So it's never dead. Okay. You're always allowed to come back whenever you want, but thanks for sharing your stories tonight. And always just, you mean the world to us. And we just hope you the most success that you want. And please always reach out to us if there's anything we can do for you. Okay.
Oh man. Yeah. Thank you so much. Appreciate the kind words. And man, this was a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. And yeah, I mean, I'm 38 now, so a couple more years plus 40 class. Yeah. I never know. So we'll see.
Coming in hot.
Hey, Jay will have the same reaction as at Christmas. You say like, "Hey, what about that race and something?" Like, let's go. I guarantee your dad will say, "Let's go." Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. But man, no, this was a lot of fun tonight. So yeah, thanks for hitting me up and making this happen.
Oh man.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on.
All right. Well, boys, let's get out of here. Probably one of our coolest guests we ever had on. Luke, thank you so much. Keep healing up. We're all cheering for those damn nerves. Come on, nerves, get with the program, nerves. All right. But boys, let's go out and do something cool, and we're out of here.
Yeah, come on. Mama told me one day I'ma grow up big and I'ma be a king. And my papa told me it's okay to sit when shit hurts. Don't forget your dreams, 'cause they'll get you through this so-called life.